something and some really annoying blood boil slaps, and people will realize, yeah, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Nope, and Rise following suit. Banned away once again from Mickey. May even see just a 3 phase 1 ban, just taking that mid lane champion pool down.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Zoe join this list. She is right now. So here's where things start getting interesting. Are you going to start banning away some of the AD carries that are still really strong? We've seen the Kalista a couple times. Didn't really take over the games. Xayah, like we said, starting to become a priority. Same with Tristana.
Yeah, and is banned away, so kind of interesting to see that there. TL Academy, I think you likely respond with an AD carry ban here, but definitely some options here.
Yeah, there's always a support pool you can look at. Maybe you don't want to play against Tom Kench. You also have some top lane options. Camille, if you're playing up against a carry threat. So I'm pretty sure Viper is very happy to take any 1v1 carry matchup.
Well, looks like the last man is Cogmore. Haven't seen too much of him today.
Yeah, seems like he dropped down a little bit with how much engage there is, and now there's less protection for him just in laning phase.
I am noticing a trend, MarkZ.
Hey!
Galio!
Galio's back in a big way. 4 games in a row. I'm not sure if has he won every game. He lost the last one.
He did lose the last one, so he's 2-1 right now. Maybe 3-1. FLYA Academy can put him to good use. As Tristana Jarvan, the quick answer from TLA.
Yeah, instant lock in there, knowing that they want to split up the Galio-Jarvan combo, and also know that, hey, Tristana's probably the best AD carry left after those 2 bans, so they snatch that one up as fast as possible.
10 seconds, though, for the next 2 picks for FlyQuest. Varus going to make the rounds here for Eri.
I kind of like that. You've seen some pinches start coming in the second pool, and it seems like while there's a fair amount in the first tier of AD carries, it quickly drops off after that. So I'm not too surprised to see that right away.
And another pick here for Noah. Are you really doing this? Are you gonna pick Noah and be like, hey, Yasuo Riven player?
Please counter pick me.
Yeah, please play one of your best champions against me in a matchup that I know is a counter match.
It's a little risky. They do have the Galio to cover these potential dives that will come in, so we'll have to see if that's what they choose to do. I do like the Taliyah.
I love Taliyah.
I believe Mickey has played this.
He has, yes.
Yeah, so it's a great neutralizer to the Galio who wants to be pushing the wave in Rome. Hey, that's what Taliyah wants to do too, and so both of them have the same strengths, and it's about who can execute it better. Team Liquid Academy have shown that they are very comfortable playing around that top side of the map, so you can expect some top lane bans here, but there's so many counters to Gnar on the table right now. I don't think you can get rid of all of them. There's Aurelia, there's Camille, and then there's the Riven who can kind of do it, not great. And there's one more that I'm forgetting off the top. Yasuo, yeah, the obvious one.
And again, yeah, this is something that Viper has more than demonstrated he's willing to play and happy to play as Camille will get banned here. Sidwani on the other side for TLA. And I'm kind of expecting another top lane ban here from Fly.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Zac ban as well.
Hey,
yeah,
look at you.
Hey, it's not that hard. I mean, it's like, hey, they haven't have a jungle pick yet. And Onda's good. Let's ban out some good stuff for him. Well, GP is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, taking another carry away from Viper, but he'll have counterpick. No need to show, even if it's something that you absolutely expect, like, you know, the Yasuo who's played twice already, no need to show it just yet. Instead, complete that bot lane and take the Taric.
We'll see what they do. There is some good synergy built in for Team Liquid's comp for that Yasuo pick. They have the knockup with Jarvan. They can even use Taliyah and Trist at points, so there's a lot of options. As well as, at this point, most Yasuo mains are pretty confident in finding their own knockouts.
I think so. As Jana, another appearance here for JJ there in bot lane.
Pretty good peel thus far. If you're going to see this hyper-aggressive dive comp come in between the Jarvan and the Yasuo, there's a lot of disengage available. We'll have to see if he ends up going with that. And they still have...
JJ messing around. Let's see exactly where Under settles on. That seems to be the pick they're after. Gragas is a weird one, but is a tank. Jax I like a little more.
Yeah, it's surprising to hear that now, but after seeing Cloud9 play it a couple times, I think a lot of people have warmed up to that tank Jax build. It's really nice when you have other things to set it off with, so it's not just a Jax very telegraph running in with his Counter-Strike running. If you can get Gnar to kick things off, a Varus ultimate, a lot of different things, you can follow it very well with Jax.
I mean, we kind of expected as TL hovering their final pick here. We'll see what he wants to play. Actually does lock in the Riven.
Yeah, like we were saying, he's basically...
I think he flipped a coin.
There's a lot of choices. Like, pick whatever you want for this counter pick. It's basically going to be around how well do you play the matchup and how well does your team play around you. Tracking that Galio when he's coming up there to negate your engages will be the big factor here. So, very, very explosive game on the horizon for us in this matchup.
Yep, and I love it. Viper sticking to what he knows. He's played a Gnar game, 2 Yasuo, and now 2 Riven games as he steps into this one. A man after my own heart.
Not mine.
I just love how disappointed you are.
I'm not disappointed. I'm disappointing you. You know, Viper's a pro. Go out there.
No, Viper can do whatever.
You're in solo queue, mister. Come on.
Yeah, look, well, I have nothing but shame. But we'll move into this game instead. TLA Academy been on a tear through the early weeks of the league. FlyQuest bolstered a little by Under here, and certainly on the uptick in recent games, so we'll have to see just how they sort this out.
Yeah, we've seen a couple LCS pros make their way down into the Academy League for various reasons, and oftentimes to great effect. So I wouldn't mind seeing Anda step up and kind of smash this game, but he is in a very difficult matchup where Team Liquid Academy is what many people feel made up of some LCS-ready talent.
Yep, certainly looking strong. Feel these players, of course, have already had some stage time. Yeah, always hungry for a little bit more, which is kind of nice to have. The Academy being well established. Once again, everyone fanning out. Nobody wants to level 1 invade today, but I can't blame them too much. Instead, let's check in with a couple of the rune choices. I don't see too many surprises though. Maybe Eri is actually the biggest one. That is Lethal Tempo Varus.
A little bit. I am surprised to see Viper start with the heal. I understand, you know, first couple minutes of the matchup, generally the most difficult. So just wants to make sure he goes fine through that. Maybe he'll swap out to the Ignite before then swapping out to the teleport later in the game. We'll have to see what Viper chooses to do up there, as I expect a fair amount of the game to be played around the top side of the map. But bot lane's also an option. Janna is notoriously squishy. You can pop her pretty easily if you land some ganks. Joey could potentially set that up with the stun, or maybe Jarvan kicks it off. Who knows? But if you start blowing up this bot lane, the dives will be unlocked. TLA can get down there as well. So lots of side lane action expected this game.
I think a lot in mid here as well. We've seen Mickey and Peek and Wolf already have very good games. So Mickey, a tough opponent to play here down in Academy. Right now getting some of the early damage down. This is a matchup we used to see a lot more of. Both Galio and TLA kind of fell off the map. But it's kind of nice to see them both coming back. TLA was kind of sleeping. I think like a pick more people could have taken. Galio, like you said, was seeing play elsewhere, but has finally come to the shores of North America.
Yep, you play against it a couple times and you suddenly remember, yes, this is very annoying to play against.
Well, right now again, early advantage here, but Pick and Wolf should be fine just clearing out those creeps. Definitely curious to see how this matchup plays. Viper, though, again, playing very carefully in these early levels. Yeah,
like a lot of the Riven into range matchups, early on, you are not going to be getting super aggressive, mostly looking to get all 3 abilities unlocked. And then, even then, against Gnar, it can be difficult, depending on the timings of when he hits his Mega, the pushing waves and all that stuff. So it won't be a little bit until Riven's unlocked. And even then, you might see Viper mostly focused on the team plays when he knows TLA can roam up and when Jarvan's on the top side of the map.
Yep, you can see Under was spotted. He's now checking the enemy jungle, but not going to find too much. Or it might even just go for a gank route here over the top of the blast cone. I believe this is pinged out. Under right now, though, is just sitting on the Krugs. And Viper does ward away. So that will give him the information whether it's relevant, unless Ando wants to only tower dive.
We will see how solo queue Viper's Riven is. If he can give up the CS despite being a carry champion in the top side, all the pressure is up there right now. He knows it, clearly by the ward and everything. But it's up to him right now as Mickey kind of dominating this mid lane.
Yeah, guess on the seismic shove doesn't quite follow. As Peckman dodges out with a Justice Punch, and it was a dive. Viper gonna have to clear these out quickly, but wants to play it safe. Under with his early stun. Again, Viper just trying to get away. A great first stun. In fact, follows over. The tower shot was following, and he knew it. It's first blood over to Viper.
Viper clearly showing that he knows his champion better than FlyQuest does. Able to punish that dive. Really, really ill thought out dive. Full HP. You know, he has the heal available. Summoner up. If he plays this well, it's very hard to 100-0. Mini Gnar as well, so you can't even chain CC off the Jack stun. Viper doesn't even play it perfectly because he tanks the initial bit of damage, starts trading back, good stun there, and then the Q flashed away. You know, maybe you could have waited on the Q because he's going to clearly have to flash out. But either way, Viper clearly plays that very, very well, and it was not even close to working out on the side of FlyQuest.
And his reward is first blood and double buffs. Gifted over by Under on an ill-advised dive. Shove there from Mickey, Pack and Wolf, eating rocks.
He's kind of trying to stabilize a little bit. Had to already teleport back. Got the Dark Seal grabbed up for himself, but put below half HP as well. This could be a pretty fast game based off the top lane action that happened early on and Mickey generating his own lead.
Yep. Continuing again the theme of the Academy teams being closely linked to their main teams or their LCS team. I do find it funny, and it does make sense that the spirit of these teams does feel pretty similar. LCS TL are pretty aggressive, and TLA have been very aggressive here in the Academy League. So fun to see them play a similar speed as their counterparts.
Yeah, absolutely. Some mid-jungle action as bot lane camps a brush, tries to find a pick off here.
Sneaky, sneaky. Stun lands in for Joey. Shoyu jumps in. All in incoming. Ignite is down. Hop up, hop away as the exhaust. Probably not enough to save the Varus. Eri gonna try and live to the onslaught. Pops everything as Arno looks for it, but Shoyu with a wonderful flash away. Keeps himself safe, and here's Mickey.
Yeah, here's Mickey. Minion wave is coming in. They might be able to pressure a dive here. There's no teleports available for anyone else, so the fact that Galio's seen in the mid lane means they know where everyone is. This will be a dive.
Mickey just peppering them there, misses that first shot, but they're just waiting for the dive. No ult either. Oh no, Packenwolf actually does just grab it. Mickey didn't have a wall. Splash done in though. And there's the shield. Galio ult forced out as well. TLA can play it slow. Packenwolf though here to defend, and that's going to call off the play.
A little over-eager after Peckenwolf hit 6 in the mid lane. Looks like they might not have noticed that. And the shield that came in from JJ was just enough. TLA, though, they, like you said, they are aggressive.
Persistent, to say the least. Mickey might look for a wall angle. Oh, no, it's poor JJ.
Oh, boy.
Tagged by the rock. This is a tragedy.
Oh, this is hit in your stomach.
Yep. She has flash. Good luck, JJ. Tornado prepping. John is just trying to run away. Ooh, as a stopwatch, gonna last a little while longer. Stun's gonna miss, actually making a go of it, but Shoyu able to finally get the kill.
Yeah, they do find that kill. It does cause them to overstay on the map by a pretty significant amount here. They already have the Galio back in the mid lane. Jax is starting to farm up. We'll see how worth this is, because FlyQuest will have the opportunity to kind of potentially punish up on the top side. Viper getting vision out for himself already. 4 wards out. One of those is a Scuttle Crab.
Yep.
But that is good that he was able to secure that much vision for himself while his team is resetting.
Yeah, and again, you can see just how far No has been pushed up here in the top side after the disaster that struck under the top turret. So Viper pushing his lead nicely. It hasn't manifested in a huge CS lead just yet, but again, should be expert, especially if he's not given extra jungle attention now, or if the opposite happens and Hard's able to come to that lane, should be able to navigate and build a big lead for himself here. And with what just happened in the bot side, TLA start to win 2 different sides of the map.
Yeah, this is going to be take either option. Both are correct. A, B, or C. A and B are both right. You can go either side lane here, probably find some kills as long as you combo everything together well. The invulnerability that'll be available for Joey, as well as the just crazy burst damage that Viper will hit now that he's already level 7. You can expect big things on both sides.
And again, BF sword for Joey plus the dagger and a crit glove actually, so leading into perhaps an early Zeal, whereas it's very defensive Ninja Tabai there for Eri, who's not interested in getting dove again. Unfortunately for him, I don't think he's going to have the luxury of choosing whether or not that happens. If TLA want to go down there, they will.
Yeah, no stopwatches available either, aside from the one on Peckenwolf, so you can see how limited they are now in defensive tools already. Mickey gonna grab his blue buff here. Hard, trying to get 6. And that is probably when they'll start making moves on the map. Galio already kind of shadowing down there. You see it was in the river a little bit. Didn't know if they're going for blue or a dive. It's just so much pressure on the side of FlyQuest Academy already.
Yep, and again, that vision moving out. Good control wards across the right side of the river now. Viper returning with 2 Black Cleaver components. Going to go back to his lane and keep trying to build his advantage. Under is able to clear out this control ward, so
yeah, level 6 to level 5. Hard really does not want a piece of him in a 1v1. So understandable for Hard to back off.
At this point, we're just kind of waiting for the next pressure point, though.
Yeah, there's still some cleanup to do. I think Hard needs to clear a couple more camps, hit that 6. He spent so much time between that mid and bot play that he has not had much of an opportunity to farm for a little while. So he does want to hit that before probably forcing.
Has 2 camps on the right side though, so Brom will give it to him, and may even probably gonna go over to clean up the wolves as well, which is the case. Meanwhile, back in top lane, Viper certainly has to pick his windows correctly. Meganar, much harder to kill than Mininar, as it turns out.
Yep, does get a pretty absurd amount of stats for free for transforming. Viper doing a good job keeping his vision control up. Now that he's Mininar, doesn't feel as scared to go fight for this vision.
Mechanics on display, a little trickier to cancel around a ward. Saw him really showing off with that Scuttle Crab take. But certainly, again, if you're willing to play it here in the Academy, you know your way around the champion.
And Mickey, very interesting build path early on, just going for pen boots right away. He was dominating Tekken in the matchup. I guess wants a lot of damage. Surprised not to see more mana regen focus after those nerfs that came into Talia's Q. I mean, he does have the blue buffs, which is great, but I guess with how much pressure he thinks that his team already has, he doesn't think he's not going to be able to get his blues.
Yeah, it's interesting in that I think a lot of Talia players panicked when that change happened, but Mana Flow Band does give you a super, super good discount if you're able to refresh on top of your work ground. So that makes up for some of it, but certainly not the Talia of old where you could literally just sit there spamming spells, pushing waves, and then just recalling for free.
An absolutely deserved nerf. Not fun to play against. Mickey going to go back here. Tekken already did teleport back to lane.
And there we go. There's the last chapter you were after. So mana regen ready to go. And going to zoom back down across the wall. And we'll slow things down actually here. I've seen a lot of games kind of fit this profile. A lot of early games seem to be pretty deliberate. And Team Liquid Academy kind of expecting maybe a little faster. But again, they know they're sitting on an advantage. It's not massive right now, but I feel like they've got enough pressure and leads in these lanes to cash in later. They don't necessarily feel like they have to go for it now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the scaling across this game, it is a bit of a strange one where normally you don't think the Riven, Jarvan, Talia should be outscaling, but at the same time, the enemy team has a Varus compared to the Tristana. Both Janna and Terra can be teamfight monsters depending on how effectively they use their ultimates. And then, you know, both Galio and Talia kind of just pelt teamfights with Q. So they actually are relatively closely matched, I think, in terms of scaling.
I have to think so. As, again, the Drake also doesn't incite much action, as it is an ocean, but Hard will sneak down here. Stun looking good, and onto the Janna we go. Good tornado, good ult there as well, and barely flushes out from under the Cataclysm. Mickey's also here, looking to maybe get the pick off. Ooh, knocks Eri back in the wall. Very close to getting the pickup. Does shove him back with the damage reduction on the Galio wall. Going to prevent a lot of that poke.
Very aggressive play there by Team Liquid Academy, answered out for the most part by FlyQuest, but they end up with a summoner advantage, a little bit of an HP advantage, and so they feel confident starting this dragon off. Going to get the Ocean Dragon for themselves, unless Anda has something to say about it.
TP does. TP in, though. Actually, a fight going to brew here.
Meganar.
It is Meganar gets stunned instantly, though. Viper also going to land the chamber to 4-man. Nah, there's a knockback from Mickey. Might just save his carries. Taric hold down. Re-engage looking there for TLA, but Fly trying to kite it out. Dragon goes over. It is Hard that picks it up, and everybody walks away.
That was very scary for both teams there. Basically a 5-man Gnar. I think it was 4-man into the wall combo. Jax looked like he was going to get a counter-strike as well, but I think a Buster Shot might have come through for Shorty. Actually, it's still up on, not on cooldown, so I'm not quite sure what it was, but something seemed like it kept the Jax.
Talia W.
Talia W. Very impressive then by Mickey to see that one coming. Somehow they kept the Jax off them. Hopefully getting a look at it, and then the Riven combo that came out with the Taric ultimate forced FlyQuest to have to quickly hit the panic button on that team fight and back off. TLA able to grab the dragon, but no more kills despite all that action.
Yeah, 2 kills only in this game. TLA hold both. But effective TPs for both top laners there. No one able to clean up as we're going to another look at this one.
Yep, so the Gnar comes in, but they're ready for it. They stun him up, get the knockup. He gets chain CC'd a little bit before landing that 4-man Gnar ult. And yeah, it was the Talia W, gets the 2-man knockback, forcing No and Anda off of them. Very impressive by Mickey to be able to land that out.
That's some sick mind reading skills. But again, certainly a player that has been impressive here in the Academy League. So continuing to do so. Still, the game stays close. FlyQuest can't feel too dejected after losing those first 2 kills. Turrets still feel pretty healthy for everyone here. So again, we'll keep farming up, keep collecting items, and maybe look for that next Drake. It is Ocean number 2, kind of foreshadowing another slower game.
Yeah, it did feel like after the first 6 minutes that this had the potential to get blown open, but FlyQuest have mostly done a good job stabilizing, surviving through that play there. They have not had an opportunity to get up to Viper to try and snowball him. He is relatively far ahead of the Gnar, given the completed Black Cleaver and some extra longswords with boots. So no, still under some pressure. Maybe TLA starts trying to force up on that side of the map a little bit, or maybe they're content to just let Viper live on an island because, hey, he's Viper on Riven first Gnar.
I think so. Doing so well for himself in the early game. Joey though, looking for JJ again. Stun land, slappy slap. Hard looking for it. No flash this time for the Jana, but no commitment. Does have the ulti, and that tornado was nice to protect herself.
It's one of those situations where you think, oh man, Hart could have gone for a flash ult, but you're just going to get ulted out by the Janna, and then with your EQ down and all your other movement summoners available, she probably lives through it. So I don't mind the little bit of extra hesitation on that play.
And I will say in general, TLA felt pretty well controlled here in this game, although this is an aggressive one.
Here we go.
Another TP in from Viper. Mickey with a great wall to cut him off. Gonna zap to seal it all. JJ gets knocked back down for the kill. Mickey getting jumped on by Ander, gonna try and cut it away, but is safe for now. Viper picks up the kill into the carries. Pekanov a little too late. Tarakov finally arriving with that'll bolster them here for this dive. Pekanov goes in gold, but Mickey able to get that kill. Well timed overall, and TLA collect 3 clean kills.
Right on cue, as we're saying the game might be slowing down. Team Liquid Academy pull the trigger in the bot lane, get a 3-for-0, and take the bottom turret. A little scary as Mickey ended up slightly ahead of his team, but they reacted well, able to keep him alive, and some slick plays by Mickey himself result in that advantage now.
No, he's going to get the trade on turrets, but the first turret bonus gold does go to TLA. There were 3,000 gold ahead before this turret, make it about 2.5. There's no equalizers there. And this was just such a well set up play.
Yeah, absolutely. The Talia wall comes in. He hops off on the same side. Looks him a little scary there. Janna stops Hart from being able to back him out, so Mickey flashes over. Onda gets the jump back, but they're able to keep him alive. And then the Taric ultimate comes in for the redive, making sure that they will finish off Pekanov, who, despite his stopwatch attempt, still goes down.
Not a whole lot he can do there, unfortunately for him, and TLA picking up the pace again. Static shift done there for Shoyu, who also has his own Ninja Turbo, and BF so looking to knock down some more turrets. This is one of the things about this demolitionist style marksman. You can really, once you start opening up one turret, look to knock down 2 more and really give yourself a big burst of gold.
Some pretty nice control there out of Joey. Despite having the demolition stacks on full on that turret, didn't get baited in trying to get it as he had no backup by his teammate.
Backup will come back for both here in the mid lane as ultis are coming off cooldown, but Mickey again, blue buff back. Pestering Pekanov as Viper.
I must have missed the
turrets.
Chunk out for some reason that he has this much alone time with the bot turret that he's already taken it.
Yeah.
20-ish% HP. Must have won a trade on Gnar, or they were just really late on that rotation as Gnar was up on the top side for a little bit there.
He is the big boy in this team as well. Collected the lion's share of the kills here at 3-0-1 after getting first blood as well. So certainly tricky here for the Gnar with only an offensive item really in the Black Cleaver to try and fight up against the Ribbon with one of her own.
Yeah, it's tough. If you go full defense, you start losing out on a lot of this, threat that kind of makes Gnar who he is. But against Riven, can you really afford to try and match damage items, especially when behind? Hopefully he starts going full tank here. Should not go for a Frozen Mallet.
Well, again, Viper just going to keep this pressure up, and with how strong this Riven is, it's just so easy for TLA to, again, continue to apply pressure. I mean, at some point, no, he's either going to lose his turret or lose his life. Viper is too strong in this 1v1 currently.
And you can see that Mickey is starting to kind of shadow down to the bot lane, drop the vision cone plant to find the red buff up. Now Viper is going to steal that one away, so that's even more annoying for No to deal with. And eventually you think they're going to find an opening on that bot lane. Yeah, and again, both mid laners can join with their global, but picking the right side, getting the vision, and getting the jump will be important there. Mickey going to get aggressive, but just walks out of the taunt. Under is here, but 2v2 is hard with a great counter gank timing. Going to call that one off, and TLA still in that top side pressuring. Whatever reason it was for the recall being forced, that's going to give them a turret here. Yep, they get that turret up on the top side. Only one left will be that mid lane outer. Might be difficult to take versus the Galio, but they're already set on their next objective, the Ocean Drake.
Not even look for the Rift Herald. Viper and Hard though for now. Not too long left on the Herald, which would help them take that final outer turret, but looks like instead TLA will be happy to snowball one objective and not both. Yeah, they are starting it. They're going to try and lead. Oh, that's FlyQuest. Excuse me. Getting the trade.
They heard the dragon roar. They decided, you know what? We're going to get an objective of our own, but
or are
might be contesting.
Joey looking for the 1v3 defense. Doesn't feel it. Lacking in bravado, which is odd for Taric. Oh, pick it up. He got it.
It's always tough for me to cast Team Liquid Academy games and not yell Joey like I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh character.
That is actually one of the few few animes that I cannot watch in original Japanese. The English voices are too, like, mean too much to me.
The horrible Brooklyn accent.
Yeah. That and Dragon Ball Z. Those are the two that make more sense in English. For anyone wondering. Rift Herald used effectively-ish. Shelly doesn't quite complete her mission, but turret down to about 40% health.
Yep. They saw that, you know, there's no one really in the mid lane, hoping to get some free damage on that one. Hard and Joey show up, though, to put Shelly in her place. And now Mickey is back.
Having a rough day today for Shelly.
Can you blame Shelly for that?
I do not.
Me neither.
No blame on Shelly today. FlyQuest, though, again, just trying to pick up scraps, really, as far as the objectives go. I'll be happy with one turret, but TLA continues to, again, compound this pressure. Eventually, the mid lane out is probably going to go down, and then you have one turret versus all your outers dead versus a Talia and a Fed Ribbon. That does not sound like a fun scenario.
No, it does not. But it is a relatively, you know, squishy composition here on the side of Team Liquid Academy. If the Riven ever does misplay, which, you know, it feels like sacrilege to say about Viper's Riven, but if he ever does mess up a team fight and going at the wrong time, there's a fair amount of CC on the side of FlyQuest. They can kill him. He's the one with the primary gold advantage. And so it is possible for them to come back in this game. You see himself having a 1,200 gold lead.
And again, they have to keep applying that pressure, but TLA knowing they have to keep up in the other lanes as well. Mickey has a top lane duty right now. I'm going to get that pushing in the right direction for Team Liquid Academy. And the trio there in mid lane, jungle, and bot lane duo just pressuring that mid outer and hoping they can sneak a few shots. And Gallo is doing an excellent job, especially in tandem with Janna clearing that away. But looks like they're swapping Joey in instead. Kind of giving him the safest spot to farm right now.
Yep, Shoryu and Joey going to focus down this turret. Kind of move the Tristana around. Pull the Galio away from the mid lane so that Varus has a little bit harder of a time clearing it.
Big crit though from Shoryu. Was a good chunk of damage to the Varus. You can see 2 items actually now completed for the Trist. Only the Rage Blade there for Eri as Hard zips away from Peckenwolf and Anda looking for some sort of play.
Yeah, but that attempt comes with a small cost. Mickey getting some chunk damage on the top side.
Well, Banshee's Veil's going to help. Knocks Anda back. Another good flash there. He's going to try and get him out, but Mickey flashing out to safety. Peckenwolf follow flashes. Mickey tries to ride the wall, but he gets knocked off before he can. Still fighting away. Needs to kite near his teammates, but Anda should have enough. It's Peckenwolf with the Winds of War. Takes down Mickey.
Barely able to get that kill. Almost traded back. Some nice play by Mickey to try and kite that one out. The wall actually serving a little bit of a function, giving a awkward path. Almost bought him enough time, but the Winds of War finished him off. There's not much they can grab after getting chunked out that hard. Instead, Team Liquid Academy will be the one grabbing the objective in the mid lane.
One more hit. Shoryu does take it though. And that's the outer ring felled. Again, TLA, you can kind of glance up at that gold every now and then and just see that, you know what, seems okay, and then you look up and all of a sudden they're an extra 1,000 gold ahead. 4K up now with an Infernal Drake on the way in about 4-ish minutes.
Infernal Drake will be pretty highly prized on the side of Team Liquid Academy. Got a top laner who wants extra AD, builds a lot of it. And so you can expect to see probably a big fight there. I don't think FlyQuest will be wanting to give that one away.
No, I mean, as far as how they can get fight ready though, Galio obviously can help combo in, but Andrew is actually building a Trinity Force by the looks of things, so not going to be all that tanky.
Ooh. Deviating from the Cloud9 established build of the full tank jacks, wanting to grab some of his own items. Viper in a little bit of a spot here.
Ooh, good knock up here. Now going to follow in with a close range Galio ult. Certainly enough here. Viper knocked around and shut down.
That is a lot of crowd control, starting things off with the Gnar ult into the wall up. By that time, Peckenwolf's landing down. They get the shutdown. This is 2 kills in a row now, kind of given over to FlyQuest.
And again, Viper, we talked about it. In a 1v1, it's very unlikely for him to go down, but kind of desynchronized there again for TLA. Viper a little too far forward. And a nice gank there from Anda. Gives him another kill on a solo lane. And Mickey gets out this time. Going to take the blast cone over the wall. I'm trying to remember if that interaction works unfavorably. I feel like I saw once where someone tried to snap a blast cone and the Banshee's Veil ate it and they didn't go over. But maybe I'm wrong on that one.
I'm not sure. I believe it does still work. Okay. Maybe there's a difference if it's an enemy attempt.
Maybe.
One.
It'd be really funny if you just hit it and you died.
Yeah.
Because you didn't go over the wall. We'll have to test that one later in the practice.
Yeah, well, it sounds pretty tragic.
We already had one tragedy this game with the Janna diving bot lane.
Yeah.
We don't need any more.
So
Those Infernals actually up in 25 seconds.
I'm going to need to see Mickey get out of that top lane and get down there to make sure that he's ready to fight this. FlyQuest Academy could try and push in if they grouped up a little bit more.
Well, Mickey at least looks like he's got most of the timing right. No, he does have his TP though, so he can join freely, and Viper is in the area already, although of course can TP as well. Fly should be ready to contest for this, but TLA are going to get it on spawn.
Yeah, no pop to Meganar, and he's going back to base, trying to get some last-minute item potentially to fight this. He might have Mega if he teleports in instantly. There he goes.
He might be looking for a wall angle here. The Drake is attempted. Good cutoff gets everyone on the other side, and that's going to be TLA just slipping in and taking that Drake.
That was too easy on the side of Team Liquid Academy. Airy tried to hit his max range Varus ultimate, but came up short. And then, like you said, perfect wall by Mickey to make sure there was no hope, but FlyQuest still trying to push that mid lane.
Joey again flashing into the Giant, going to pop the Cosmic Radiance. Party starting here for TLA, but don't quite have enough damage. Airy just takes down Viper, was not immune. Shoyu fighting up at the double kill now for the Varuses. No, he's going to chase down. Shoyu is caught on the complete wrong side. Scoop back in, Packenwolf grabs it, and that Infernal Drake was not worth it.
Nope. Not at all. I think the Infernal Drake was fine, but the engage afterwards, way too forced on the side of Team Liquid Academy. Joey flashing in for a stun when no one else is in range for a follow-up chain CC is pretty disastrous versus Janna, who can easily reset that initial attempt. You need to get that chain CC down. Once that missed, they were already at half HP by the time the Terok ultimate finished completing, and then Viper, without the ultimate on him, kind of presented himself as the clear target to focus down. He got popped. And now Team Liquid Academy may have thrown the game away. Gold lead is even after giving up a Baron.
Yep, Baron over, and watch this one again. Joey removes the glory days of the bot lane dive. This was not it.
Yep, you see how far Hard has to go to try and meet them up. Right then, as they get their ultimate, Viper tries to go in, easily focused down. The ultimate wears off. Onda goes in with a nice double stun onto those members. And now Shoryu split away from the fight. No way away.
Good scoopy there from No. And the Baron now in the hands of FlyQuest Academy. Means that they can start equalizing the turret disadvantage. Finally, this mid lane outer is going down. Joey not interested in the flash stun this time. Gonna have to get away from that, and we'll see what else FlyQuest Academy can get. Shoyu also probably needs to be somewhere else. He was looking at the top lane wave, feeling like any good AD carry player that he wants them minions, but can't be in the wrong spot as No is going to shut this turret down, and all of a sudden we're even on turrets, and FlyQuest Academy have a lot of Baron left.
And for the most part, they've done a really good job bouncing back after that early game. Packenwolf has found some pickoffs with multiple members now. Found one with No and one with Onda. Onda also had a pretty good team fight. And No, despite that initial terrible dive that they went for, actually managed to hold on to the laning phase fine, all things considered. So now FlyQuest, arguably with the better team fight comp, with the Baron buff
from Mickey. But again, nothing really cut off. Might even just move them back towards the mid, actually. Is Packenwolf going to get it started? Running in towards the minions, getting them going. Baron's still up, though, so plenty of time. Shoot this all down, but easily red rotation there by TLA. Despite all the vision in the jungle, not quite enough traction to get things going, although this cannon minion escorted by No is doing a valiant job on this tier 2 turret.
He's trying his hardest. FlyQuest Academy don't have a great comp for pushing. Anytime you have Galio in the mid lane, that's basically one person who's less likely to be able to auto attack things. Gnar does a pretty good job at the split push, but Airy on the Varus will have a hard time stepping up. If the TLA is there, anytime you want to auto attack the turret, you're basically putting yourself in range to get W'd back. So you have to be very, very careful.
Good preparation though by FlyQuest Academy. Big top lane wave building. So with Baron still up for a minute, you have to think Fly know that they can likely get a little bit more here. Would love to get an inhibitor turret, but are likely just going to settle for a second, maybe even a third tier 2 to make it 6-3.
This is a bit dangerous now. Shoryu's ended up as the only one trying to deal with that top wave.
Side lane Shoryu could start costing his team position, but from the Aryan JJ here for that mid turret, though a little while longer. Backdoor bonus doesn't kick in. That last heroic melee minion, letting him take down that 5th turret.
And there you see Shoryu dealing with that wave up in the top side. And with that, pretty nice Baron buff all around as it's on its final wave just about.
Yep, 20
but
seconds left.
did get them about 2,000 gold lead. So all things considered, great for FlyQuest.
Yeah, Baron power play is going to be looking good after that one. And great punish on the misstep there for TLA. All of a sudden, FlyQuest are the ones with momentum in this game. And the next Drake is that Infernal. TLA feeling pretty good about their 3 Drakes, but losing that next Infernal is going to feel pretty bad.
Yeah, it'll be, once again, a very important objective to fight over. If TLA get it, an insurmountable 2-0 Infernal lead. For FlyQuest, it will negate any Drake scaling advantage in late game team fights, which it feels like we're heading towards.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a slow burning game. 30 minutes through, inhibitor turret still looking very healthy. This is a far cry from the 20-minute shellacking that TLA delivered yesterday.
And that is one of the things for why people consider Cloud9 the superior team over Team Liquid, whereas Team Liquid is very hot and cold. C9 is a little bit more consistent, and these are the kind of games that cast that doubt where it's like, all right, Team Liquid, you had a monster lead, you had all the tools to kind of blow this game open. What happened?
Well, messed up in mid lane and lost the Baron. Yeah. Usually away games turn around when I did something silly and Baron was available.
There was an oopsie.
Well, see if they can correct it. This next big objective, Infernal up in 25 seconds or so. So everyone's pretty much online as far as item builds go. And Noah's actually doing something I've seen, I think, once before. But he doesn't seem particularly interested in anything other than split pushing, because that is a Phantom Dancer as his 3rd item.
Yeah, it went against my advice of going the Frozen Mallet second, and it works out just fine for him, doing great in the side lane. And then the Phantom Dancer is a great way to survive these more aggressive matchups. You sometimes see it into things like the Aurelia, like the Riven, as it gives you that very important damage reduction. So not too bad of an item to see in the 1v1, and here we go.
It's a poor choice, although actually a TP already in from No. Built up a lot of raids on the wave, though. Again, looking for the turret. Hard jumps in. That could be a mistake. No, though, stunned as soon as he lands. It does get a warp in onto Viper. No, forced to flash out of the way. They're going to try and take the Drake, and Under does smite it down. A kill, though, in for Viper already. Shoyu taking out JJ, but Aries trying to get back in there. Flashes everywhere as the Tristana is low, but still not dead. A scoop in from No. Makes the hero play. Viper goes down to Under. Joey, the next to fall for FlyQuest Academy. They lost their Janna, but it was well worth it.
Great fight on the side of FlyQuest Academy. Looked very scary for a moment there when multiple members were pinned inside the pit. But Team Liquid Academy split that fight up and started focusing down the right side. You'll see it here. The Gnar goes in, hits Mega Gnar, but he has no real resist. So you see how squishy he is in Mega Gnar form. Not quite able to land any actual CC onto him. He flashes out. They go in and instantly blow up JJ, but here, Shoryu jumps onto Airy, which baits the entire rest of his team to that side of the fight. Instead of focusing down the 2 members trapped in the pit, if they just played that fight front to back, they might have been able to win it, but instead, that split focus, Airy goes out, he's completely fine. Joey has to take some really, pretty defensive flash to get the stun onto the Triforce Jax in the jungle, but at that point, you're already so scattered from the fight that FlyQuest are able to come out completely ahead. And
at one point in time, TLA with the team up 4,000 gold. Now that belongs to FlyQuest. We're now looking after grabbing that Infernal at the 2nd Baron of the game for themselves. 20 seconds till that's up. More than enough damage to take it down. And by the looks of things, they've got their team fight put together.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a great job playing these out. No is willing to go in and perform that frontline duty. It's very scary with his build, but he has not actually died despite some teleports being very telegraphed right in front of the enemy team. Has always done his job of being able to frontline and get out, never dies for it. And then Onda and Peckinwolf have done a great job following up off that.
And again, given the start to this game in top lane, impressive to see No really holding on and now excelling in that side lane. Even going to start to get tanky with a stone plate on the way, but he's running interference. As Mickey does get the wall down. Again, no, back through. Baron done very quickly. No even just skips over the wall. Clean Baron from FlyQuest.
Very fast Baron as well. You got to realize that Ginsu's Rageblade Varus with an AP Galio with a Triforce building Jax will actually destroy Baron very, very quickly, and Team Liquid Academy was not able to get in range for it.
Late to the party. Must have lost their invitation somewhere in the river. And as a result, FlyQuest do pick up their 2nd Baron. And again, the full duration to play with. And now they already knocked down 5 turrets. And getting 2 tier 2s. Actually, they got like 4 turrets, never mind.
Yeah,
off that last Baron power play. So now TLA tried to defend their inhibitor turrets last time. Going to be a lot harder given how much closer FlyQuest are to them.
Yes, absolutely. As well as the fact that they now have a substantial gold lead. It was even the last time As no, you see how squishy he is with only one resist item.
Yep, Stone Plate not enough against the 4-item Trish. Shoryu definitely set up to have a big team fight win if his team can set it up correctly.
It's very tough for them. They have a much worse front line in that regard compared to the triple-ish tank on the side of FlyQuest Academy.
I'm interesting here from Viper as well. Actually swapped out his boots from cooldown boots to Merc treads and does have extra 10 CDR with that hammer, but clearly knows that, hey, that 1v1 that I was trying to win and snowball through is probably not happening anymore. Now going to be forced to team fight, which is definitely a role Riven can perform, but different from Viper given the lead he started with.
Yeah, I think it's all things considered, making the best of a bad situation. You want that tenacity to go in and land those combos. There's a ton of CC on the side of FlyQuest. Like we said, Varus has CC, Onda has CC, No and Pekka all have CC. So you need to be able to make sure that that doesn't stick on you forever. And as much as you were hoping to live that split push fantasy against the Gnar, that's just not reality right now.
No, is actually the one split pushing Viper in at this point. Took down the last tier 2 for TLA. And now the siege has begun. Pekka on the bot side, ready to ult in towards mid lane. No, doesn't quite have his TP, but can zip down to mid at least to support the core in mid for FlyQuest. And at some point, turrets are going to start breaking, especially if Arno with his Trinity Force gets a chance to deliver some slaps.
And I like the way that FlyQuest Academy are playing this. They know that their team comp is not great at pushing down turrets, so get into 3 lanes. Hold on.
Yeah, Pekka actually is going to start this off. They're going to try and engage onto the 2 here. Not a bad time as Pekka gets a lot of good damage back, but already forced to pop the Zombie. Is now running away. That's going to break open the mid lane. TLA committed very hard to try and get something done here. Pekka looks like he will give his life away, but so much damage. Gets a kill on the back end. Actually grabs a double, but the inhibs are in shambles for Team Liquid Academy. Fly going to take just about everything here.
Yep, they grabbed the top 2 inhibitors. There's 2 dead, excuse me, on the side of Team Liquid Academy, so they're not going to stop going. They're going to try and actually end the game right now.
Yeah, looking like they're going to knock down at least one Nexus turret. 3 up for the defense here. 4v3 for FLYA with a man advantage, trying to seal up this game. Flashing from Viper, looking to make the big play. Joey does get him with the dazzle. JJ going down as area is low. Needs to keep moving forward. Shoyu doesn't quite get the kill, but the last auto will connect. Maybe a little too long there, overstaying their welcome.
Oh man, Viper. Just when you think this guy might be having a bit of a rough game on Riven, saves his team from losing right there. We'll take another look at the first half of all this action. Team Liquid Academy doesn't want to get 1-3-1 down, which is what FlyQuest was doing intelligently. And so they try and pull the trigger, but look at AP Galio's damage here. Drops Shoryu to half with a single Q, flashes out, no one blocks the E, so he's able to get away, almost kills hard with the next one. He thinks he's tanky enough, so he's going to try and turn around. Drops 2 more Qs there. Mickey has nowhere to go, actually flashes into the last tick of the Winds of War to get away from the Jax. But it's not that easy, as Viper says, I'm not going to let you guys end the game right here. Most people not familiar with Riven's burst damage, so you see how quickly he blows up the entire front line. And as a result, Team Liquid Academy are actually going to be able to grab the Elder Dragon as well.
Take it for themselves. There we go. TLA definitely punishing the overstay there of FlyQuest Academy. We'll have 2 different lanes of super minions to contend with, so I doubt they'll find a fight with this Elder Dragon buff, but still taking it away from FlyQuest Academy will help prolong the game. At this point, they do need time for these inhibs to respawn, for the Goldie to kind of disintegrate as the game stretches longer and longer.
Game of Thrones, Pastry.
Everyone's favorite. Oh, sorry, that's a second favorite HBO series. But I like the other one that's very similar sounding.
Is that Dragon Trainer? Is that Khaleesi, Tristana?
Yeah, it's bewitching. The one with the cool hat. I know.
I mean,
they didn't get the message.
Yeah. FlyQuest Academy from this position should be in a fine spot to end the game. They still have the double inhibs. The Elder Dragon, there are 3 on the side of TLA, so you have to be very, very careful, but just let the super minions do what they do. Don't push up too far, don't get poked out, and eventually you should be able to pressure this down.
Yeah, spotlight, I have to say, on Pekka, who's had another great game. Again, looking like he's kind of getting pushed around by Mickey there in the mid lane, but 6 items now finished. Did so much work in that 2v4 with his jungler, and the poke is going to really sting. With that death cap, I think the capstone on his build. Again, Baron not up for a minute 20, but too much pressure from his super minions, you have to think, for TLA to reasonably contest, although might be forced into something. Whatever happens, the decision's going to be bad, but we'll see what they can get out of the situation if FlyQuest can execute smoothly here.
And then they need to be careful. This is a game where some wonky stuff can happen with only one Nexus turn up, with double TP and a Jax. I'm not saying there's a backdoor coming, but there could be a backdoor on the way.
It's no melee range Camille backdoor.
Yeah, I would hope.
But there's certainly a lot of threats.
And with
FlyQuest too.
Right, and with when the inhibitors were taken, it was only a couple minutes ago, so those should be down still when they go for this Baron.
Siege stop a wall there from Mickey. Bit of relief, but again, just kind of binding time to the Baron. Under is sneaking around the base, getting the waves shoved back in the right direction. Again, kind of knows how crucial this next Baron spawn will be. I think FlyQuest Academy will likely start moving themselves over, although Noah's getting covered by Peckenwolf right now. These are the two globals on the side of FlyQuest Academy, so we may see a three-man Baron start here. And again, FlyQuest is trying to pull TLA all across Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I like this setup a lot. Peckenwolf just shadowing behind No. They have a ward, so they know that he's there. Peckenwolf going to back off now. They're going to go to Baron. They have double TP to join in if they need to. And it's going to be way too hard for Viper to possibly cover this bot lane on their own. So they're going to lose something here, most likely.
Yep, and again, no vision here for Team Liquid Academy. So maybe going to catch somebody here. Control Ward goes down. Under finds it, even using that sweeper that he's got to make sure he can clear it all out. Again, another good sweep by JJ. Finds all the wards, and TLA gonna have to check once more.
Yeah, Mickey trying to shadow down the bot side himself, but he's not gonna have that big of an impact. So TLA might just look for a Baron steal and try and hold on to the bottom inhibitor. We'll see what they do.
Again, continuing to deny vision. Also, top wave pressuring in. Viper's gonna get spotted. Recalls channeled from FlyQuest Academy. They kind of pull off the attempt, and top inhib's gonna respawn. Mid should be pretty soon after. In fact, it's already respawned.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like the window was there for FlyQuest Academy.
It definitely was, and I understand that they did not want to risk losing the Baron there. If they forced three-man there, they're kind of getting chunked out. Maybe they even just get engaged on. But you think, ideally, they would have had some vision that they could have teleported to behind. If No can build his Mega Gnar, Peckenwolf can maybe ult in. They do have some wards you can kind of see behind, deep in that jungle. But nothing happening, and so TLA mostly able to reset the situation.
Yeah, full build marksman on both sides here, actually. Show you, I think, was there first. He's very strong in this Tristana. Yeah. But Eri also already shown in these team fights that he can dish out the damage.
Yep, that's one of the things about Varus. People don't realize that he actually is a pretty significant late game threat if he goes untouched, especially with this on-hit build. Surprisingly going with Frozen Mallet. Not quite sure how effective that's going to be. I don't recall any team fights being like, ah, man, if I only had the CC to chase them down. But maybe he just wants the HP. So.
Just get the Riven off me, man.
Yeah.
That's part of the reasoning. We'll have to see. I mean, it's kind of tough because Riven tends to flash on your face rather than run straight at you, but
kind of kill you instantly.
Yeah, look, that's the other part of the problem.
A Guardian Angel would have been better, but who knows?
Okay. I see you.
Yeah.
See if he maybe swaps that out if the game does extend. But FlyQuest Academy back on the offensive. Again, really going to try and crack down these inhibitors once more. Yep. It is the first, but they're trying to, again, break bot and I assume open up the space around Baron once again.
And I like this decision.
Ooh, hello, hard straight in there. Cosmic Radiance down. Peckenwolf trying to get out. Oh, my goodness, that damage hard. Dead before the Cosmic Radiance finishes channeling. Peckenwolf now backing on as Viper just can't do anything among the CC. No, on the other side, gets Stroyu, who is a little too far forward. Peckenwolf not going to go down just yet as he pops into stasis. Does finally fall, but FlyQuest Academy resoundingly win that fight.
Once again, you see that Hard kind of goes in by himself, gets blown up before the Taric ultimate can finish channeling, and Shoryu had actually kind of jumped in next to him under the assumption that they would both get invulnerable. But once he died too quickly, Shoryu realized he has to try and leave that fight. Viper tried to get in there, but the exhaust cut into his combo a fair amount, and that extra HP from Eri made it so that he was never really under a threat.
Only one inhib taken though. FlyQuest Academy went for the more difficult of the two. They did take the turret finally, but not able to get that second inhib means that this Baron's not that safe to run to.
Yeah, I was surprised for how hard they won that fight, that they were not able to actually convert. But they're going to play it slow. Now with, like you said, no inhibitor turrets up, and they should be able to get this Baron. It's very difficult for Team Liquid Academy to hold on.
Yeah, looks like Hard's not going to make it in time. No, take it back. He's wolfing it.
Close.
FlyQuest Academy trying. Mickey going to cut him off. This could be bad. Needs to get the buff. Oh, Hard actually steals it. And now the fight ensues. Cosmic Radiance out. JJ very low. Mickey getting a fall. No invulnerable available. Pekanov looking for a target, but does not. CC onto Joey. Sure, you also hear Pekanov just destroying this Tarek with the full AP Galio.
I don't know what Hard was doing. He could have got the ultimate onto Mickey, I believe, but didn't actually walk with him in that situation. Now Pekanov, whoa, you have to be careful there.
A little too much damage. Shoyu does get taunted, but it's not enough as Viper jumps in for it. A second kill over. Eri also caught out, finally dies. As the double for Shoyu could turn into the triple. No, going to try and hop away to
Hard's
safety.
Going to come back around.
Under also here, looking to try and cut him off, but he just can't help his top laner at all. GA going to get popped and instantly taken away again. Stone going to miss, slight miss time, then Meganar keeps him alive for longer. Hopping away, might be enough after that ulti, but I don't think so. Shoyu going to keep chasing, gets the last kill, the unofficial triple, and TLA fight back.
And there's actually a minion wave on the top side that Viper has been able to grab, so they're going to try and push this down up there. They have to go back and deal with this wave here on their Nexus turrets, and I don't think Hard has enough damage to do it himself, but they are going to commit to this topside push instead.
Tart did die. He smited the super, but it was not enough. Mickey also chasing through a massive stack of minions here as Viper and Shoyu. I think they're just going to try and end the game. Under is up for defense. JJ up in 3. All right, they're going to go in for it. Under going to try and run interference. Doesn't get stunned. Counter-strikes up. Needs to jump in onto Shoyu. But for rocket jump, great. Cosmic Radiance down. TLA rushing the Nexus while invulnerable. JJ tries to push him away with a monster, but it's not enough. TLA circle the Nexus and take the game.
The massive comeback off the small overextension from Pekanov in that topside jungle cost them the entire game. No way to know that was coming. Also, the Baron Smite steal on the side of Hard, a critical factor there as well, and an insane ending to a game.
Very fun stuff. TLA 2-0 for the week, exactly in the fashion we expected after their 20-minute stomp yesterday.
Yeah, especially after the game started great for them. You know, the dive at 3 minutes, 4 minutes into the game goes horribly wrong for FlyQuest. They get thrown off on the bot side, 2-0 lead for a very stompy team comp on the team side of Team Liquid, but it does not go according to plan.
Well, let's review some of that action. We've got a lot of it here. Replay at number 1, 25.5 minutes in. This is where FlyQuest are looking real good.
Yeah, at this point, it felt like Team Liquid had all the control, but they overextend on this dive. Frontline members get chunked out. Viper doesn't receive the Tarek ultimate. The re-engage comes in. Very nicely done by Onda to get the double stun. Now Shoryu split away, not actually able to get much damage done, despite being a pretty large member of the team. He's going to drop, and that's the first Baron of the game that gives them their gold lead on the side of FlyQuest, and looks like things start slipping away from Team Liquid.
Yeah, you can see about 6.5 minutes later, 32 minutes in, FlyQuest, another one to fight here, 3-1 around the Dragon area. Mickey again trying to find that wall, but doesn't quite get it.
Yeah, you're starting to fight from about an even position here, and it looks good for Team Liquid based off of how far chunked out No is. It does happen with Hard dying right away, but now everyone's trapped in the pit, and the 4-man of Team Liquid looks good to go. But Shoryu jumps off to the right side and splits his team up. He gets chunked out very, very hard right away. Everyone's trying to react to the 80 carry now getting beaten up, and it's just too little too late. FlyQuest Academy able to win that fight as well.
Instead, he gets beat up, and FlyQuest, again, snowballing this game, looking good. Still looking good. As we queue up our next replay, 2-1 for Fly, but TLA still holding on in this game. A nice attempt here, but Pekanov just popped off.
Yeah, this is the situation where it felt like FlyQuest Academy basically won the game. There were no inhibitors down yet, and he's able to take a situation that's a 4v2 and turn it around. Massive wins of war damage. You see the late game carry potential that a Galio now has, and so it looks like FlyQuest are going to be able to win the game off that, but they underestimate Viper's Riven. Never do that. They get over-eager. He gets a flash 3-man stun. The rest of Team Liquid Academy were ready to follow up on that, and they're able to get a couple cleanup kills, and then this is what stalls the game out. They're able to grab the Elder Dragon off that, gives them time for their inhibitors to come back up. FlyQuest maybe played a little slow there for a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like there were a lot of different decision trees here for FlyQuest, where if they play a little faster or a little slower, depending on the situation, they'd probably come out ahead in this game most of the time. So certainly some work to be done, but this is what happens when you don't do that work. The final replay here is it's a doozy. It's not, again, not Baylor Ridge Camille backdoor, but I'll take it.
Yeah, just more crazy than I thought it was going to be. The nice smite steal by Hard. You see the Cosmic Radiance come in. They are not actually able to get that one on to Mickey. Not Hard's fault at the end there. So he drops down. Looks like a good fight on the side of FlyQuest Academy. Game's most likely over. Joey's barely able to stay alive. Viper is mostly dealing with any super creeps in the base. And then Pekanov just gets a little too cautious, or excuse me, you know, not really worried about what's going on around him.
Too keen.
Jumped on. Yeah, too keen. Gets blown up there. That's 2 dead on the side. Joey was able to follow up on the CC by Viper, and now No is caught off between Hard, who is just kind of running in circles hoping to stall the game out, actually is able to contribute some critical CC. And during this whole time, there's actually a big minion wave on the top side pushing for Team Liquid Academy.
Yep.
Viper recognizes that the split push god that he is always knows where the side waves are and gets those going with the Baron buff that they were able to steal.
Yep.
And that seemingly innocuous Baron steal actually wins them the game.
It does. Baron up power minions, huge stack, able to pull it through. And then my favorite thing, Tarek, he's got a history of doing funny things around Nexus at One World. He killed it himself. Now what happened this time instead? Cosmic Radiance is the remaining members of TLA. And turns out beating a Tristana who's invulnerable, who's hitting a Nexus, is impossible.
Also, probably about a 500 AD Riven hitting it as well.
Yeah.
It does a fair amount of damage.
Not too bad at all. Game 4 is now in the books, but we're not done yet. Stick around after the break for our final match of the evening with TSM versus the Golden Guardians.